This is so cool.
So this is Taco Tuesday Girl.
Hey, I know her.
Yeah.
This is not boring. I agree with that.
My
Long form, unedited conversation. I love it.
All right, man. Jesse, thanks for joining me.
Of course. How are you, buddy?
Are you cool just jumping into it?
Yeah. I'm good.
I kind of like doing this better than
I mean, we're just going to talk
doing the
anyway,
small
so,
talk and then
yeah.
jumping on the mics. I feel like it's better
Yeah.
to do it with headphones on,
Yeah.
you know?
It's more normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
More
normal.
natural, yeah.
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 Haven't seen each other in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's
headphones
been,
on.
I think it's been like 3 years since we saw each other. But I was just looking, and it's been almost exactly 5 years since you came on this podcast originally. Do you remember
Really? Oh, yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And I feel like how I want to angle this interview, I feel like a lot of people, especially me, are really interested in your story personally.
Mhm.
Just because of like the journey. I've seen the journey that you've taken. I mean, like I saw you 5 years ago. That was kind of like right at the beginning of Nelk, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you had a channel before that and you were making videos for a couple years, but that was like right at the start of like the hockey stick, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I watched you go through that phase, and then I kind of watched you start to sort of phase out and, you know, kind of evolve personally. And then now I'm watching you in this new journey with Sunday and your creative agency. And I feel like I'm really intrigued by that, you know, that story of growth. And I think other people are too. So I just wanted to, that's how I kind of want to frame this, is just going through since you last were on the show and talking about like, you know, just the lessons you've learned along the way and like why the decisions you made and like why you decided to, you know, phase out of Nelk and all that stuff. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, I mean, it was just one massive, like, chapter is what I look at it as.
Yeah.
Like, I've kind of said that, like, in, like, an Instagram post, but, yeah, and I don't, like, regret any of it. It was all dope and it was all sick, but, like, I just did that, and then it got to a point where this next chapter just made so much more sense.
How did it feel like when, you know, Nelk first started taking off? Did that kind of feel like this is inevitable? You know, we've been working so hard for this. Or was it kind of surreal in a way when things started like really working?
I think it was a bit of both. Like, it had moments where it was like, holy fuck, like when it was, you know, going off. But I think majority of my whole life has been like a trickle effect. That's why I've been able to keep pretty level headed, because it's like, even when I was, I don't know, I was like 15, I did this show on MTV that we sold to like my friends, and it was like, got a little taste of, you know, Canadian, like very small, but like got a taste of it there, and then did YouTube for like 7 years and built that whole thing. And that was even like a grinding and fucking slowly kind of growing. Had a moment where it kind of popped, but yeah. And then now doing what I'm doing now, and it's just, it's also, it's cool to kind of feel like I've been there, done that. I've experienced everything, it feels like.
Yeah.
And now I can just worry about like what I want to be doing every single day. If that makes sense. And not look at it. It became a little bit for me too much of a numbers thing. I don't know if you can relate to that ever, but like, I don't know if that makes sense. But whether you're talking about like value, money wise, or views wise, or it's just like, what are you measuring success, and then what are you also measuring yourself with? Not to get like deep, but it's like, yeah, and then also it just got to a point where like I just wasn't happy. So I was like, okay, well, what am I waiting for? You know
I feel like it totally depends on what type of person you are as well.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm a little bit more of a analytical left brain person. So like numbers has always been kind of what motivates me. At the end of the day, it's like numbers and strategy. I'm also
Slowly
like obviously
improving.
a super creative guy.
Yeah.
So like I want to make sure to honor that part of my brain too. Otherwise I don't really feel whole. But I feel like, you know, you are much more of a creative person.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, 100%. To the point where it's kind of hard to navigate sometimes. That's why I built like a very small team that all cover a part of that maybe I need help in.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I wake up or I'm working on this and I'm like, it's almost like a bipolar thing, I swear. It's like weird. I'm so like working on this, excited about this, excited about this, but like it's also, I have to like learn to just focus on certain projects that I'm doing.
Me too.
Like I say yes to everything.
I know, so do I. And I try to do way too many things at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I end up kind of throwing myself like 40% into a lot of things instead of 100% into one thing and making sure that it's great.
Yeah.
And then it always kind of feels like my mind is like bobbling between each one.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I've used like whiteboards and like I'm very visual, I've noticed too. Like
Yeah.
I could have 50 projects on the go, but I need to have them all like laid out and where they're at, like at each thing, so that then if I'm going, hey, we're diving into this for the next hour, I can like fully open up like that binder, pull up where we're at on that project and
that's
like
cool.
start working on that project. It's kind of, you ever listen to Lex Friedman?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever heard him talk about how he schedules his day?
Yeah. I
kind of getting into that as much as it's
okay.
like kind of robotic, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah, his
it's
daily routine is absurd.
it's insane.
I listened to that. I think last Christmas holidays, I listened to that, and it was like inspirational for me. But at the same time, I was like,
Yeah, don't go
guy's
too into
fucking
it.
insane.
He's like 4 p.m. Have feelings. It's like,
for 10 minutes,
yeah,
and
10
then
minutes.
feelings off, back to running and push-ups and pull-ups, and then like he'll just go out like the amount of like just AI like work that he's doing during the day, and then he's like, okay, I went for a 15-mile run as a break from work,
yeah,
which was insane to me back
it was
then.
exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's pretty insane. I do enjoy his podcast. Sometimes I feel like he's a little like monotone and slow.
I weirdly like it though.
Do you? I
It's
know,
like
it is a little
re-
relaxing.
It's easy to like just soak in. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You can
Yeah,
hear everything that's
Yeah.
happening. But
What was the moment when you kind of, I don't know, started to realize that, you wanted to go a different direction, I guess?
I think
I noticed in the videos, like, because I watched all of them, and it did seem like there was a time there where there was a moment where you kind of like started phasing yourself out. You started being in less videos, and the commenters were always like, oh, where's Jesse in this one?
yeah.
So it was like noticeable from the outside that you were starting to do other things, or there was something going on. And that was just you like kind of removing yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even like purposely, I don't think, but it kind of goes back to what I was saying with like, when you hit a certain point, it felt like, why am I gonna do anything that like I don't like want to do, or I'm like, why am I unhappy? Like I should just be happy and still
true.
work,
Yeah.
And I found a lot more happiness in like product development and fucking just the business side of it too.
Right.
And you also kind of outgrow the content that we were making in a way. Like I honestly still have a huge love for like, I guess if you call it prank or whatever, but like hidden camera, like when it's
of
really
course,
set up like a show, like
Yeah.
Eric Andre style or Jackass and shit. Like I'm still probably gonna do that stuff. Maybe not every week and whatever. Like even when I did Shithole, it was very it was like a series I did, and it I couldn't do anything else. Like I tried to do it, but when you're running a 7 camera like hidden camera thing, and then you're going into like post production and you're doing like it, no matter what, it takes up 90% of your time trying to do a show like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's only so much post notes you'd probably have to give to this podcast to just be like, yeah, it's good. You know, when you're like comedy and timing and 20 minutes of it and all that content, it was just too much. But yeah, to go back to your question, I just think I like really enjoyed my days when I was doing all that and not feeling stressed about all the other shit that I was kind of doing. And also once it became not funny to me, it was really hard. And I'm not trying to take any jabs or anything. It's just certain ideas you wake up and you're kind of like, this is what you're doing, put this on, like be funny for the next 35 minutes. And you're just like, I don't like this idea. I don't like, I'm going to go shoot this thing. And then that kind of how it started. I would like go shoot what I thought was actually a good idea.
Yeah.
But it might not be the most banger thumbnail title, this, that. But I was like where I just felt like it's like at a certain point you're at let's just make content, let's make product, let's just do what we want to do. And people will fuck with it. The following's there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was probably how it started, you know, on a tour, on a trip, and this is the concept we're doing. But I'm gonna go shoot this. I kind of want to do this. Yeah. So and the getting arrested and shit and waiting to go on that verdict. And I mean, it was a crazy. I mean, I had to go back to Canada. Yeah. And it was like a 7-month wait. They were like, I know it wasn't going to be that bad, but they were saying like there's a chance of doing like 6 months and shit in jail. And I was like, that really set me onto it really fucked with my head a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it made me rethink,
Scary.
it's scary. It's like, I've spent a couple nights there. I was like, I'm not fucking like these guys. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, this is like, it's, I don't know. So that really did switch my thinking of everything. And you just kind of mature about it too. And I really don't want to do any prank comedy footage we call it in the industry like punching down.
Yeah, right.
If you know that, it's just like the joke should be on me. Like, I should be the joke, and then it's funny.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything that's like ruining someone's fucking day or some shit.
Right.
But yeah, I think there was a lot of things, and I think also stopping drinking for a bit there was like made it even harder because my job was to go to the clubs and go to Florida.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Was like, how much of a factor was alcohol, and how much did that play into this? Because it seemed like you made the decision to be sober right around that time too.
Yeah.
So if you're making that change, it's like, it's really fucking hard to be like, one of the things you have to do is you have to completely change your lifestyle in the beginning, at least. That's what I noticed. It's like, I couldn't go out.
Yeah, you got to change who you hang out with, who your surroundings.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's really, really hard. I mean, that would take like some inhuman willpower to be able to just do the same shit and be in that same environment, but not be in the same state of mind. Because like, what you realize, like, bars and shit aren't fun unless you're drinking. That
was what happened. It wasn't so much that I had this like problem and I couldn't be around it, or I'd be like, I gotta go get a beer. Like, I don't think I had a problem. I was unhealthy and not happy. And then when I tried to do just a month, because that's what it really was, I was going to do it to like, I think it was like the month for my dad's birthday. I was like, I'm going to try 30 days. And then I did a year, and now I just did 2. But it was more about, I just felt so good not doing that. And then, like you said, then you go to do a tour or go to Florida and go do a club appearance, get paid for that, and then do this and hang out with crazy drunk fans. And you're just like, this sucks. Like, like, I felt like I was working hard.
Yeah.
And just the lifestyle and everything. And so I started doing my own thing, and I just think it was bound to happen too. Just a split.
Yeah.
And,
And
it made sense.
Guys, we want to take a quick break to thank the sponsor of today's episode, BetterHelp. BetterHelp has connected over 3 million people with licensed therapists. It's convenient and accessible anywhere, and it's 100% online. Unfortunately, life doesn't come with a user manual, so when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. Navigating any of life's challenges can make you feel unsure, whether it's a career change, a new relationship, or becoming a parent even. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour for your inner world. Oh, I like that. A therapist can make you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals no matter how big or small. I know a lot of people that have used therapy, and myself, personally, it's really helped me. It's great to hear what's going on in your head even, and to help have someone, help you digest that stuff. It can be really beneficial. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist at any time. It could not be simpler. There's no waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/chill. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/chill. Also, by the way, I want to reiterate, we're not like jabbing or no shade to Full Send or
no
anyone involved. I still think like what they're doing is incredible, and I think Kyle is like a master operator. It just seems like they're going to be successful. It's just like inevitable, and Happy Dad is killing it too. Like, I look at what they're doing and I'm like really impressed, which almost, makes me more impressed with the fact that you were able to like, look at your own happiness and be like, I'm not happy. I'm going to leave something that's working. Because something that I've realized now that I've been doing this for like 8 years or whatever, it's like, it's really hard to make something work.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like like a partnership, a podcast, a piece of content, a series, whatever. It's really hard to like find that like perfect fit where you just get critical mass,
Yeah.
And so to leave that, it's just like, and to, like, then I guess like, not really start from scratch, but do your own thing again, kind of from the ground up, was like really impressive and scary. And
oh yeah, it was the hardest decision of my life.
Was it?
Sure. Yeah, it was. And it took a long time. It's not like that's not something that just happens overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
lawyers. That's fucking it was a massive thing. And but now that it's been enough time,
Feels right.
Yeah, it almost feels like, why did I wait so long? Like, I mean, I was like pretty I was pretty down. Like, I was just like, what was I doing? So yeah, I mean, but like you said too, like starting from scratch, even though for people like us, like it's easier. Like we do have existing followings and all this stuff, and knowledge, but it's not. I still feel that every day, even with the like little Sunday show I'm doing. I try to look at it this way: as I am building a new following from scratch. I don't care as much about how many people come over, because I'm just kind of having fun with it and letting it like experimenting, but I definitely, you can't compare anything. It's like, this is a brand new thing, a totally different genre, totally different product, totally different pace.
Yeah.
I'm not transferring any fans over. I'm growing something new.
And does that excite you in a way?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
super
exciting, isn't
it? It's up. I mean, you get tons of feelings about it. You're, like you said, like, oh, I got to put in another 3 years and figure out this like formula.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's exciting. Sometimes it's like, fuck, when was I going to take that break? Because that was another thing. I was just like, fuck, I just want to take like a 2-week break, or month break, and just go fucking backpack across Thailand or some shit. Like, just get away from the circle for a bit. But that's kind of something I've been dealing with lately. It's just like, when do you pull that trigger too? Because I was like, oh, I really should just like launch this, get this going, get this profitable, like make these connections, start these shows, get a first few clients in there so I can work on the road. But I feel like you'll get to that point, and then you'll have so much more things up and running. Then now you're like, oh, I gotta really press play on this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm kind of deciding in my head of like, when do you take that break from this?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that feeling of like you're in this fucking LA 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 Land world that I mean, did you ever go to Canada sometimes just to like get out of it for like 2 months and then come back? Or would you like stay down here and this was like your whole life?
Yeah, I never really, I mean, there was the only like distinct point I took where I had like a sabbatical was after I graduated from college. I worked for 2 years as an engineer, worked for a startup, worked my ass off, a lot of hours, not a lot of payoff. And then finally had a moment 2 years in where I was like, I haven't traveled. I have some money saved up. I'm 23. Like, I should probably do this right now. And that's when I left. I left for like probably about 6 to 8 months.
Really?
And then got back. But like, I don't regret it, but I definitely, I mean, I cherish those like memories in that time for sure. But
you were doing like Vine or something before that?
I was doing Vine and stuff as I was going, but it wasn't like, I couldn't make money on it yet. It was just like, this is a hobby. It's really fun to make videos. So like, let's just keep doing it as we travel.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I look back on that and I'm like, I'm really happy I did it. But at the same time, it almost felt like I was late to get started on everything else. Like, it almost felt like if I tried to make content and everything a go earlier, I would have had a little bit of a leg up going into YouTube, and everything would have happened a little bit sooner.
Yeah. No,
but I don't know. At the same time, I'm like impatient, and I think things play out the way they play out,
Yeah. And if you didn't take that time to go do that, it just gets harder as you get older, I find, to like actually go do that.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I even think about sometimes like, I'm like, I don't know what the goals are that I'm trying to hit to be able to go do that. But like, I also don't want to like go backpack the world when I'm fucking 48. Like, I want to like do it when I'm still kind of young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just kind of, I don't even know it's so much about backpacking the world. It's more like just
taking a break.
Yeah. Like, not looking at making sure there's an upload or this, or having these calls or these meetings or whatever. Just.
So did you start Sunday like pretty much right away?
Yeah, but it was building in the background. Like, it took me about 6 months to even come up with the concept, because the concept really mattered to me, especially when it came to merchandise. Like, I knew when I left, I had a big enough name in that industry that I could have slapped any name on product and sold it. And that, especially where, for me, like, I felt like financially I wasn't too worried. So it was like, I had no urge to go do that and just go do this for money. So I really wanted to take time building something that would excite me enough to want to do it for 10 years.
Right.
And and it's kind of complex, but I think over the next year, it's going to make more sense to what Sunday really is in the whole big picture. But yeah, no, I'm super pumped about it.
Can we rewind a little bit and then we'll go back into Sunday?
Yeah.
A little bit later. So when you kind of removed yourself from the videos and stuff, that's when you started working more on the Full Send clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And was that kind of like the start of, I don't know, learning the ins and outs of like the logistics and design and everything? And that was kind of your first like foray into, is that the right word? Foray into like, running that side of the business and realizing that you could do that as like, independently or whatever?
I think it's always been there. That love for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was my very first thing when I was like 12 years old. Like my hometown, everyone there knows, like it was this company called Dollars. It was a play on dollars.
Okay.
Like, it was very cringy, but it was a skate company brand that I made, and I used to have my own little mini drops and sell them out of my locker.
Really?
And I had a small town, but everyone in my town wore it and knew it. And it was like, so I got a taste of how to create product, how to do all that.
And how were you creating the product at that point?
I was like hand drawing them, then scanning them onto like a printer, or like scanning them onto a computer. And then I think I didn't even know how to vectorize yet. So I had to pay $50 to some dude to like vectorize it, and then go talk to find t-shirt blanks online. Like I was doing the whole kind of mini process that I was doing now.
And then printing them yourself?
No, I had like a fulfillment center that was doing them.
Okay.
I guess it wouldn't be a fulfillment center, but like a print shop.
And then you'd sell them at school?
Yeah.
Damn.
And like have little pop-up tents at skate competitions and stuff like that. Huh. But yeah, so it's always been there. I mean, even when we did started Nelk and then Full Send kind of came alive, it was like I was like the one trying to make logo decks and that was always what I loved doing, as much as everything else was just as important to do in the brand and keep the marketing alive.
Yeah.
But I think I just was starting to spend more time doing that. But I mean, in the background of all those years and I'm not trying to take anything away from it. We had a massive team. We had a great team.
Yeah.
But like we had to build a sourcing team to do all the hard goods, and then build out the design team. And like, probably the same thing you've dealt with maybe with like editors or this. Like, it's not like you just hire someone, especially when it comes to design. I mean, I've even learned that over the years. You can't just hire someone that knows how to do graphic design and be like, make this cool.
Yeah.
Like, it is a lot of just testing and overseeing and references. And like, I think that there is a lot of knowledge there, whether you're the person physically drawing on the iPad or whatever you're doing. But I mean, I look at that too as like Virgil probably never really drew anything he designed. You know what I mean? You're like the director, and you're just moving all these pieces and looking up references and creating an idea,
Yeah.
But so I feel like that's what I like doing the most. I've even tried to dive more into actually physically drawing it and doing all that, but I've just learned that that's not even smart for my time. Like, you go get the expert at this, you get the expert at that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do watercolor, you find that guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Guys, we want to take a quick break to thank the sponsor of today's episode, ExpressVPN. When you're eating at an Italian restaurant, you usually don't let other people walk up and stick their fingers in your pesto gnocchi, right? You'd much rather have them dip their little toes in there. So why would you let people look at you when you go online? Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like going to the bathroom and not closing the door. You don't want people seeing your little gnocchis, do you? Did you know that your internet service provider knows every single website you visit? What's worse is that they can sell that information to ad companies and tech giants who will use your data to target you. ExpressVPN puts a stop to this. It creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that your online activity cannot be seen by anyone. And your gnocchis are safe. I use ExpressVPN on all my devices. It works on everything, phones, laptops, even routers. So everyone who shares your Wi-Fi can still be protected even if they don't have ExpressVPN. It's the best. I use it on all my shit by default. I love it. And the best part is using ExpressVPN is as easy as closing the door. You just fire up the app, click one button, and you're protected. ExpressVPN is the world's #1 rated VPN by Mashable, The Verge, and countless others. So if you're like me and you believe your online activity is your business, secure yourself by visiting expressvpn.com/insane today. Use my exclusive link, expressvpn.com/insane, and you can get an extra 3 months for free. That's expressvpn.com/insane. So then once you sold your stake, that kind of set you. Like you're like money wise, you're chilling.
Yeah.
Like you don't
I mean, I'm a
stress about
pretty
it anymore.
humble dude. Like I don't need a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like as long as I'm smart, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't sell your stake in Happy Dad?
No, I kept that.
Nice.
Yeah. Felt
Probably,
like
that was probably smart.
I felt like that was that's the
I keep seeing that shit in more and more stores, and I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I mean,
it's a great idea. It's
perfect
it feels
marketing too. Like there could be a better product for that industry, but
yeah. I mean, it's hard to compete. I feel like it's pretty saturated. Like it's hard to come up with like a new something that gets people excited when it comes to alcohol. I feel like and I think they've just marketed it so much, which is what it takes. That now it kind of feels like it's becoming kind of like a staple in stores.
Yeah, I think Kyle made a good point in another podcast where he was saying, like he doesn't want to just, like, I mean, anyone can just market anything, but he wanted to the same way that no one wears a White Claw t-shirt, but someone will wear a Budweiser shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the route for Happy Dad that I think it has potential to kind of do with the name, with the marketing behind it. Also the fact that it was kind of the first seltzer that was marketed towards a male audience.
Yeah.
It was that was the original idea.
Yeah.
I think that it stemmed from.
Yeah.
Because like obviously we talked about doing a beer and doing everything else, but there was always a thing. You'd go hang out with someone and they're like, go grab a case of White Claw, but they always felt like weird. Back in the day, it was like they felt weird grabbing the case of White Claw and like someone like chirp you or something.
I mean, it's like the meme too that it's like a white woman drink and
yeah.
So you were around like in the original like ideation phase of Happy Dad.
Yeah.
And you had a big part in that?
In building it?
Yeah.
I think with concept and design, and then it kind of
And that was its own entity, and you guys all were like equity partners in that.
Yeah.
And then that's interesting. I don't know. I'm fascinated with like creator businesses and
I'm just all that shit. I just don't know how much I can talk about certain things.
That's
and
fine.
I just don't want to get this shit all clipped out on you.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I know. I hate the thought that all this is gonna. I wish.
Hi.
What?
I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna cut all this out. Actually, we're gonna send you the episode afterwards, and you're gonna be like, I don't like any of this. This is all too much detail. Just gonna be us. Hey, what's up?
Yeah,
Later.
man, that was good.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
The episode's gonna be, hey, have you been to Canada recently? Nah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
So now let's get more into Sunday, and it's a creative agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
And did you raise money for it at all?
No, not yet.
So this is all just self-funded.
Yeah.
And did you have clients like right off the bat?
Yeah, pretty quickly.
Really?
Yeah.
And how that's just like through personal relationships or?
Yeah, like we built so many up, you know what I mean? And it's actually funny. Our very first invoice that we got paid from was Brazzers.
What?
Yeah,
We
framed it and we put it in Josh's desk. It's
No way.
So funny because they gave us $5,000 to design. I think it was like a 12-piece like streetwear little collection for them.
Really?
And we did that. And
did they sell it?
I haven't even looked into it. I don't know, but
I would Google it, but I think maybe we need to cut that out too.
pop that up.
Bring up Brazzers.com real quick and let's just poke around and see if we can find that shirt.
But no, it was pretty easy to get that almost to the point where it was almost like a lot of people were reaching out, and I didn't even have to do much sourcing myself to go make connections.
But how did they even know? Because it wasn't obvious right away what you were doing. I feel like you were a little like secretive about it.
Or I guess I'm more looking at it as like when we publicly launched.
I see. Okay.
It, like really, like a lot of clients came in,
Yeah.
but or at least a lot of discussions came in. But it was almost. But I also understand that world, I think, enough to see that like I could go look at a piece of talent even that does merch and talk to them for 30 minutes and find out like all the holes of how they're either getting fucked or this could be better or why aren't you marketing it this way? Or I'm not trying to claim I'm like a genius or shit at this. I'm just saying like it was not hard because I would just find someone that I think has potential to make a big brand or just do a lot or something I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And then I'd grab like a little mini whiteboard and I'd mood board out like a pitch deck. And then I would sit with my design team and just all the ideas. Like I have like a checklist of from like logo revisions and all that to a marketing game plan for an audience to reach, like everything that I would do. And then I would just like DM that to the person and be like, hey, I think like, and it's kind of, maybe it's a few days of work. You lose some money for paying designers, you do all that. But like just the possibility of, I just like, you got to talk before you walk kind of shit. Like I think, especially in LA, like everyone will hit you up and be like, bro, we're going to double your shit. Like we just need you to sign this contract that gives us 50% of all your, and then they like do nothing.
Yeah.
So I was like just kind of reversing it because I don't really need money right now. So I'm like, why don't I just, when I see potential, do the work and then see if they like get it. And that's just been working. You know?
I mean, I feel like that's something that people can learn from no matter what they're doing, no matter what stage in their career they're at. Like,
oh my God,
if you're proactive about stuff and you prove that you can actually add value, that is the number one way to get any sort of position, job, internship, anything you want. Is do that. Like put in a fuck ton of effort right in the front and be like, look at how much I've already done. Look at how much I'm already adding to your life or to your company or your job or whatever. Like my editor, that's how he got. What?
Oh, sorry, cut you off. I was just gonna say that if they do the work, they package it nicely, they can get it to you. You know what I mean? They can. Like if you start with staff or whatever, like they can. That's how like some of my employees even are, or some shows that we're running now is someone worked on it really good, got it to someone that they could get a hold of, and that person brought it to me. That now it's a thing. You know what I mean?
100%.
But anyone even listen to this, like can do that for any person they're trying to get a hold of or that they want to work for. You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah. If you like,
in that.
yeah, totally. If you go to a job interview with pitches, and ideas, and you show that you've actively worked on thinking about this job and thinking about how you can add value, like that'll put you above all the other applicants.
Yeah.
Right away.
Like, hey, for the last month I've been acting like I've been working here and this is what I've done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's just
yeah.
What were you gonna say though?
I was just gonna say my editor, that's how I started working with him, was like I put out that was my first time ever like, putting out any sort of job posting for any sort of creative position. Like before that I was doing everything myself. So it was the first time that I was like, okay, I'm outsourcing some of the creative now. Like this has to be
trusting the comedy and
And James, my editor, like replied to the job posting, but edited a video of himself in my style applying.
Wow.
And this was like almost 4 years ago now. So
you could see it and be like, oh, that is how I would edit that to be funny. To go into that.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, it made me feel so much better that already there was proof that if I gave this guy some money, like I could trust that that I would be okay with like the product,
Yeah. They skipped a step because if you had hired him, you have to go through that process for the first 3 uploads. You're almost like pilot testing basically. And you're, oh, don't do this notes until like, I mean, honestly, editors are I've had it where I've had like 4 or 5 people in an editing room and cycled through new editors. That is the most time consuming. It's a little different when it's like I said, a lot of cameras, but getting someone to really get your vision and your timing, especially with comedy, and then having to go build a whole nother team or that person leaves and that was your head editor. Like, I don't know if you've ever dealt with that, but that is like the most time consuming thing I find.
Like when you find someone that gets it and then all of a sudden you don't like, getting
to,
from 0 to that person is really, really tough.
It can make or break a channel or a show. Like,
totally.
That's what I've always thought.
Yeah. And I mean, like as a creative, you're like, especially like no one is ever going to 100% execute your vision.
Yeah.
Because like that's what makes you unique as an artist. So a little bit of that too is like relinquishing a little bit of that control, you know, for a creative. It's like, all right, this is probably gonna be 95% what I want. And then 5 or like whatever, or it's just being like, this guy also has a great vision. Like I'm going to trust.
Yeah. It's
and this
different
is going to be
mine.
a collaborative thing,
I think that's the key I've learned is because it's never good to be like, oh, well, it's 80% there and who cares? Like if you care about your product and your content a lot, which everyone does, I'm sure you do. And it's more, you just got to think like, well, maybe he thought of something funny or a cooler way of doing this than I did.
Yeah.
So it's like a collab almost.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was just thinking back to, I've also had people that have like applied for jobs via like the email or like the editor email and stuff like that. and they'll be like, I would love to work for you. Let me know if you want my cover letter.
Yeah.
We get a lot of those in TMG Studios.
You didn't just want to like attach your cover letter to that email?
Yeah.
No, but let me know.
You're going to make me email you back in order to get the first step of this process going?
Sure, let me know if you want it. I'll
Yeah,
send it to you.
Yeah. You do some work first?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yes, I do want it. Okay, let me know what email to send it to.
Make me
Just
a video.
reply to this email with it.
Make me a video telling me what you want me to send it to.
We're doing a because I made one post about finding designers just because I feel like I can never see enough portfolios. It's like it's so hard. Like I think we got 300 portfolios and we ended up doing a 12-piece with one designer because it was just like so hard.
Yeah.
But we wanted to set up something on the site that was to stop all that. Yo, I want to be your joint roller. Like kind of you get a lot of just bullshit kind of work for you.
Yeah.
And I want to set it up where it's almost they have to upload a portfolio, like a deck of designs, but also like fill out a form. And it's almost I want to say I'm talking to like the website guy, but I want to make it where like they have to fill out all these things and be checked off
So weeds
before
out the people that
like you have to put in some work or like it doesn't even go through. Like make it I think you got to make it clear to them.
Yeah.
Like whether the site stops them or not, but it's like or you just say that in your videos a lot. Like, hey, if you don't hit these requirements, it doesn't even go to the first guy to then go to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like write a haiku poem.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like just take an SAT exam. Difficult steps.
Just put a weird task in there to make sure they're serious.
Yeah.
Like I want a video of you running 15 miles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sped up because I don't have time.
Stamps. That's the sponsor of today's episode. If you haven't mailed your holiday gifts by now, good luck, my friend. That puppy you're shipping to your nephew could potentially arrive after Christmas. But it's not too late to get your holiday mailing and shipping under control with Stamps.com. Sign up now and you'll be printing your own postage in minutes. Use Stamps.com to print postage whenever you do business. All you need is a computer and printer. And if you need a package pickup, you can easily schedule it through your Stamps.com dashboard. Save money with major discounts on USPS and UPS shipping rates, up to 86% off. Holy heck. I'm going to need to ship a ton of gifts out this holiday season to friends and family, so Stamps.com has made it so much easier. Everyone's getting a puppy. I literally got dogs for everyone. Yeah. So I really hope that they're down for that. I mean, a lot of them are allergic, so. Rates are constantly changing with Stamps.com's Switch and Save feature. You can easily compare carriers and rates so you know you're getting the best deal every time. And if you're running an online store, Stamps.com works seamlessly with all the major shopping carts and marketplaces. So this holiday season, trade late nights for silent nights and get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with promo code INSANE for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code INSANE. I was talking to Dylan Francis. He was telling me about how he'll just put crazy shit on his rider to make sure that the venue reads it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so he had like black tar heroin on there and shit like that.
They're calling him.
No, he got like arrested at the border because they found his rider in his tour bus and was like, "Oh, you're bringing heroin into the country?" And he was like, "No, this is a joke." And he had to like explain his way out of.
It's an old musician. I think Metallica or AC/DC or somebody used to do that.
Yeah. I don't think he
Aerosmith
invented it, but he was telling me like, he adapted that from.
He went from Green M&Ms, which was Aerosmith's,
to black tar heroin. Yeah. A little bit more intense.
And Jack White asked for like guacamole made on the spot in the green room or something. Like this is true, I think. Yeah, he wants a specific guacamole recipe made before he plays. So badass.
I used to always ask for a Keurig machine and to-go cups for like chewing tobacco. I needed a coffee before I'd have a chew.
Yeah.
Especially when I stopped drinking. I was like, I'm going to sit there and have 10 coffees and fucking try to have fun here.
So you're still dipping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my last thing. I gotta
you want to kick it?
Yeah.
I feel like
I haven't tried, but
yeah. I feel like quitting nicotine was the thing that really helped like curb my anxiety and shit. But I also felt like
you felt better at when you quit.
Yeah. I feel like there was a noticeable difference on how much I felt like I was going to have a panic attack and how much I felt like just like uneasy, and I don't know, it just felt like my anxiety symptoms were curbed more than anything was sleep and quitting nicotine.
I was just talking about this last night with like the idea that could be like the last thing that's Like it's weird because when I think of like chew or nicotine as I think of it as when I am stressed, it's like a thing that helps it. But really, it's your body's just immune to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, like I feel like sleep, like diet, fit, like everything I've like perfected now.
Yeah.
And it's like the last thing, but I still deal with fucking all that shit. And I feel like that might be it'd be interesting. It'd probably be a rough few weeks though.
Yeah. I mean, I also feel like dip is like, it's like analog. It's like old school tobacco where the nicotine levels aren't like insane.
I don't know.
All the shit that I was doing was Zyn and vaping.
Oh, you were doing Zyn?
And they're just fucking strong.
Yeah.
The pouches, not you said patches or pouches?
Pouches.
Yeah, pouches. Yeah. But the there's two. There's like, I forget the milligrams, but there's like 3 and there's 6, and I was doing the 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a strong one.
So I don't know how that compares to.
I only know the comparison to cigarettes. I mean, I'm going to get it wrong, but I feel like someone told me it's like a pack of cigarettes. It's like, I don't know. It was something crazy.
Okay.
I remember hearing it and I was like, oh, fuck. This is probably going to. Did you get like weird withdrawals or anything like that when you stopped? Like, did you get headaches for a week or something?
No, not really.
You just cold turkeyed it?
Yeah.
Really? When was that?
I mean, I kind of feel like also like stopping drinking and getting better sleep too. I just like felt better in general. So maybe I was having withdrawal symptoms, but I just like didn't really.
Yeah, I didn't feel it.
Wasn't crazy. I've been able to like get off nicotine and I was never really doing it that often. It was probably like 1 pouch a day.
Really?
Which I guess is often. I don't really know. Is that often?
No. I mean, no. I mean, I think.
How much are you dip?
Like average?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, so you might have some withdrawal symptoms after that.
I'm gonna intermittent fast it first.
Yeah, okay.
Because I wake up and I have a coffee and I have a chew.
Yeah.
And then I go run. I used to do it when I hit the treadmill. I would like
on the treadmill.
I do it while I work out. Dude, it's ridiculous. I got kicked out of LA Fitness once for having a spitter. It's bad, like, which is probably so bad because you're like I would always do the Stairmaster too.
Yeah,
that was my favorite one. And I don't. It's like sticks to your lip because you have no moisture.
Yeah,
and dude, it's just bad. But
Cody's a big fan of Stairmaster too.
I just saw that. Yeah,
I've been ripping the Stairmaster.
How's the back?
Recently. Dude, today is actually okay. So it's been 4 weeks now since I injured it. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Right. Since I went on my bachelor party, 4 weeks. Right?
It's been
Yeah.
a month?
Okay. 4 weeks. A month.
Wow.
And like I've just been slowly spiraling into more of a depression because I just feel like it's not getting better and I can't do anything. And then this weekend I went to Sacramento because I was supposed to run the California International Marathon that's there. And my parents were still running it. I knew I couldn't run. I still brought my running shoes because I'm like, just in case. Like,
so that just happened?
Yeah, yesterday.
You didn't do it?
No, I couldn't start. So like, but I went with my sister and Kelsey and we started at where the race finishes and we walked 5 miles up the course, saw my brother-in-law, and then we walked 5 miles back to watch my mom and my dad finish. And so that was in total 10 miles, like at the end of the day. And then we walked to the airport and everything. So I kind of thought this morning I would wake up and it would be like devastating pain, and it's not. So that to me is like, I'm feeling optimistic now.
Oh,
it's like the first good sign finally in 4 weeks.
Wow.
But it's been a bitch. Like, have you ever been injured in the middle of?
Yeah, mostly skateboarding, but
yeah. So what, like wrist stuff or?
No, never wrists or like arms. It was always ankles and knee.
Oh, really?
Like my one knee is just so fucked.
Really?
I haven't even looked at it, but it just pops. It doesn't even hurt anymore. It just pops out of place and swells up like a grapefruit and then goes back the next day. It's like so weird. But
and so you would get like this would happen to you in the middle of like you would be. I don't know, like I don't know what's called with skating. You're not really training. You're just like
yeah, just that. Well, I guess this would be a better example. So skateboarding is where it all came from, and it sucks. I think we were talking about it. But like you get kind of good again at skating. You're 7 months in. You're at your peak, and then your knee pops out, and you're out for like 2 months.
Yeah,
and then you got to go back and kind of it takes a while to get back to that you know kickflip front board slide or like trying some actual heavy shit and. That gets pretty old, but now with MMA, I've been doing for like over a year now, and that feels more like kind of like how you're doing the Cody Trains thing. I can definitely relate to getting an injury and then being away from that when you feel like because I was training like 5-6 days a week. Like,
Yeah.
You felt like, I'm getting better every fucking week. Like, this is sick. Like, my cardio's getting better this. And then,
But it all feels like it really depends on you doing it every day.
yeah.
You know? Like, I feel like that's one of the reasons why you get so much better or you feel the results is because you're like trusting the process and just sticking to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the number one thing in order to make progress in anything is you just got to like do it. You just got to show up every day and do it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can't do that like bare minimum thing is so like
A lot of your
just-
happiness is dedicated to that now.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
it's like the whole reason I found happiness through this stuff was being able to rely on myself. You know, it was like, oh, I'm getting up and doing this. Like I can finally like trust myself again.
Yeah.
You know? And now that I can't do that again, it's like I'm just feel like I'm back at square one.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. I think it's, for one, I think with your Cody Trains channel, that's it. You should definitely keep filming it. I think.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's great.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. And,
I appreciate it when you reached out and told me that. I was really really fired up. Because like
no, it's fire. It's sick.
Yeah.
It's yeah. And then you still have your
Appreciate it.
comedy in it. You know what I mean? It's still you.
yeah.
But it's I wonder if I'm also really liking it because I feel like I can connect to it a lot more too.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of thinking like, about health and trying to, I mean, I literally just got into running right when you started that. So I was literally watching, I don't know if you've ever done this. I've never been a runner my whole life, but I'm watching videos about a guy running and I just watched
Which
that.
video?
I don't know.
Okay,
I clicked a few in like form. And,
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I-
All
I
that.
see,
like,
I see.
But I'm like, I'm the guy who used to go to Thrasher and watch skate videos, and now I'm watching like some guy talk about running, and
Yeah.
it's just funny.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really into it.
How is it going?
It's good. Yeah.
Do you have a goal or anything?
I'm doing
Like mileage or
Yeah, I think I just something because my problem is I fucking go 100 into fucking everything
Right.
I do, and
Yeah.
then I can burn myself out, and then I lose it. And I like this a lot. And I think it's really healthy for me. So I'm trying to. I think I want to do 75 miles a month as a goal.
Nice.
And I'm doing I do at least 2.5 miles every morning.
Nice.
I just go to South Bay and just run on there, and then some days on like weekends I'll try to go do like the farthest I've even gone is 6, I think.
Nice.
But it's crazy when you first start to be like, you hear someone say like, oh yeah, I did 5 miles. And you're like, when you first start, you're like, you just ran for like,
yeah.
where'd you stop? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I'll like run to the end of the road and be like, all right, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny that your body just like adapts. And
Yeah.
You can run. It's all pace. It's so connected to MMA. It's weird. Like,
How so?
I feel like with that, the same thing with doing rounds and like building up your cardio and your heart coming up and down. And like, say someone's like a crazy athlete, but they've never trained boxing before.
Right.
And then they go try to do 5 rounds. That person's still going to die out at like 2.
Right.
He's got great cardio health, but he doesn't know how to pace himself. It's all about exerting energy, right?
Yeah.
Because I could go do 5 rounds of boxing and be fine, but then go run and be shit.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just because I know how to like when to like you're not just tense the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first time I even tried sparring, I was like I like threw up at the gym because I was just like, you know what I mean? You're like, and then it's funny to watch those footage and then go see footage now, and you're just like so much more like
Relax.
yeah, you're relaxed and you're like, you go fast when you need to,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's fun.
So you started all this like, I mean, it was just like hand in hand with like being sober. And are you still sober?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like when you made that decision, is that when?
Well,
also
I
when you
don't
started-
drink. Yeah.
Don't drink. Yeah.
I've learned that you
You do
can't-
cocaine.
I do cocaine.
Yeah.
People get mad at me that I do cocaine, and I keep claiming I'm sober. No, I'm kidding. If
California
like,
sober. I don't drink, but I do coke.
but I'll like smoke weed and whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I
okay.
I honestly just don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's easier to say the word sober, but people get so mad about that. But what were we talking about? Yeah, training.
Like you picked this all up. Like also, like I noticed that it made it way easier to not drink.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning was just because it was like I want to get a good sleep tonight because I know I'm gonna wake up and
Yeah.
run like 10 miles, and so I want to feel good during that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so it all kind of
'Cause
like
it
went
goes
hand
with-
in hand for me.
Yeah. If I'm not gonna go eat Jollibees and then because I know I'm gonna feel like shit tomorrow.
What's Jollibees?
You don't know Dude, I just found out about it. Don't go.
You guys have Jollibees?
No.
I've
feel like you
seen
said
one
that,
way
like-
out in the valley. I don't. Which one are you going?
I think
to?
I've seen it before, but what is it?
I think where am I going? It might be like Inglewood or something.
Pull that up. I want to see.
Go get their burger from there.
Really?
They sell spaghetti. Dude, it's crazy. It's so crazy.
What?
It's so good.
This is good.
I don't trust this logo. You know, I don't trust.
I don't trust that guy.
It took me so long to realize it's like a Jollibee. I just thought it was a crazy figure. And then it was like, I used to call it Jubilee.
Look at those eyes.
Jubilee.
Those are dead eyes.
Yeah, I don't trust that thing. That thing spits in
But they
spits in the food
You
for
get
sure.
fried chicken. You get fries.
Enjoy your spaghetti.
Burger, spaghetti. The spaghetti has cut up hot dogs in it.
Oh, let's
Dude, it's
go.
crazy.
Okay, now you got me hooked.
And like a pound of sugar. Like you're eating the spaghetti and you're like,
Dude, I'm gonna get this tonight.
Oh, here it is. Oh my god.
See, this is how you know I'm injured because I'm like, fuck everything. I'm down to eat this every single night.
Is it good?
see that's, oh yeah, I think it's good. Yeah. I mean, I've only had it once.
5,000 calories in that.
This serves 8 to 10. This is the
I've had that for
pre-marathon
myself.
carbo load.
For sure. Bro, I can put food away. It's crazy. When I see these food channels and they're like, I'm going to eat 100 nuggets. I'm like, bro, what?
Oh, wow.
I might just go
God,
make another
100?
channel just to like shit on people. I
You
feel
should.
like-
You should do Jollibee mukbangs.
just only?
Yes, dude.
People are like, this isn't a concept. You're just eating Jollibee.
Yeah. No, people would fuck with that. It's so niche and weird that people would be like, yeah.
Straight mukbang Jollibee channel.
Yeah. Just only the spaghetti too every single day. I'm
Oh.
back with the family platter. So I feel like this is something that I wondered my whole life. I understand it now, but what is a creative agency?
I just called it that because it sounded really good. No, I mean, I could just explain to you what we do. And that'd
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
be better. I mean,
Sure.
yeah, because I am just calling it a creative agency. But I think I would say there's two sides. So there's like a media side, like a network, which could be channel IP growing, like in-house making shows and building channels and all that, and also writing shows, and then we pitch those shows.
Right. So you're making content for your own channel and for your own outlets, but then you're also building IP and pitching it to other people.
Yeah. Or a retainer and helping someone else build their content
Okay, I
or
see.
producing on
Yeah.
that side. But so everything that we're doing is basically for in-house, and then we also give our services to companies that we either see potential in or we choose.
Right.
So, and then on the other side is the like design side and product development, where we have our own in-house brands, and then we also do all that from A to Z, marketing to like lookbooks, like anything you name it that goes into a successful company. Yeah, we just
For apparel? Or for everything?
anything. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah. Like we have a sourcing team, so we can do like it's really endless what we can do on that side.
So but you're doing shit for yourself, like the shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's for your own brand.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's set up now with our ties with Italy that we can now go shop that to any other streetwear brand that doesn't know how to get into shoes.
Oh, cool.
And go make Italian shoes or go make regular whatever. Like if your market's like, hey, we're trying to make a $90 shoe, we can go do that too and help them through the process. The same way that even 5 years ago I didn't know how to do that, and I would waste money trying to figure that out. And I just think there's so many people that don't know how to go do that stuff, and so we just do it as a service.
How many clients do you have now?
1,800. I'm just kidding. Imagine.
It's like, what the fuck?
I'm not sleeping. No.
Oh, we're a global brand, dude. Yeah. In America or in Hong Kong? How many clients where?
You want to start with Hong Kong?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, officially on retainer, I would say one that we're like fully doing that, which is Friday Beers. That's our
Oh, yeah.
big one that we're doing. And,
I know them.
You're an investor.
I am an investor in that company.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
No, it's a meme. Did you see the whole Jared Goff thing when I lied to Jared Goff?
no.
Okay.
Dude, I'm sorry. I missed so much shit.
No, it's fine. I'm not. It's a story that's way too long. But I know those guys. I'm friends with them. I love them, and I love that company.
Yeah, they're good.
And I was going to invest, but then all of a sudden was buying a ring and buying a house at the same time. So I all of a sudden had no money.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, I'm not going to invest. And then I lied to someone on camera and said I was
someone very famous. That man right behind you, actually.
I lied to Jared Goff. He was like, oh, by the way, we know each other through another means. Like, we both invested in Friday Beers. And I was like, that we did. And so that makes us not only friends, but business partners. And then the cameras cut and they were like, do you want to cut that out? And I was like, oh, I didn't actually invest in the company. And they were like, so you just fucking lied? And this is after I had already lied to him once before. So anyways, there's a whole thing about
You
that.
were also an early investor in Google, right?
Yes. Yep, that's me. Yep.
Google Cody?
Yeah, me along with Gary Vee.
Oh, nice.
We were one of the first investors in Twitter too. And so that's been a wild ride. And I'm worth billions of dollars.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's been nice. But yeah, Friday Beers, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're good.
And they're on Abercrombie. They're like right
yeah, it's
over
like
here.
literally right here. Yeah.
So you're doing their merchandise?
Yeah, merchandise, marketing.
They also
for them.
have great ideas for like shows and creatively, they're fucking awesome.
Their talent is fucking.
Yeah.
Do you know the Angus guy?
Yeah, hilarious.
I mean, all Liam.
Yeah,
like, dude,
love
they're
all those guys.
Fucking
super funny.
Bro, I have a feeling with that Angus guy. Fuck.
He's great.
He is funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I mean, he reminds me of someone that would be on SNL or something.
Yeah.
I met him too. He's a great guy.
Yeah, they're all super cool. Did you ever audition for that SNL?
No.
Did they ever ask you?
No.
No. I had a few friends that did.
Really?
And then they asked me to send in a tape, and I like started shooting one, and then I was like, I don't know so I'm gonna move to New York and work for $80,000 a year and do this. Like, I was like, even if it did work out, you know what I mean? But I just wondered because there was like a lot of people like in this kind of circle that said they were making a
When
tape.
was this?
I'll say like 3 months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Would you ever do that?
I don't feel like I don't have the character thing down. That's like the number one thing that you have to nail for the tape and for the audition is like you have to be able to be funny in multiple different characters, and I don't have that. I don't.
Well, the impersonating thing is what they kept bringing up, and I was like, I don't want to impersonate. Yeah, you know, like they do like I don't think I could do an impression or an impression. Sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where it lost me. I was like, I don't want to do impressions. But
Yeah.
You don't think you could do characters?
I mean, it's just not really. I don't know. I feel like I've learned like through the last couple of years that I'm really not that funny. I feel like I'm good at playing off other people.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of like standing alone on stage or on camera or whatever, like I really don't have that many like characters or punchlines or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I just don't feel like I could make it, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think you're funny, but
Thanks, dude. I think you're funny.
thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Want to go for
That'll
a
be
bike
the
ride?
only clip that we keep from the
Yeah, there we
from
go.
the show.
Do you want to go bike or something?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm down. Mandate?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually want to come to Huntington and just cruise around. I love it down there. And by the way, I actually always run, like when this is healed, a lot of times I'll like to do my long run, I'll just drive to Manhattan Beach and then park there and just run the entire Strand down to Palos Verdes and then back.
Okay. Yeah. That's literally the same run I do every day.
Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
a
my
great run.
favorite shit to do.
Oh, yeah.
I love it down there.
Do you go early?
Yeah, usually.
I'll go like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
when it's actually been pretty freezing cold lately. But
It's the best though for running.
yeah.
It's so good.
I don't mind running in the sun though. When it's like so hot,
Really?
and all sweaty, and I'll wear a sweater. Yeah, like
What?
yeah, I love working out, like sweating a lot in heat. Like even when I train MMA, I have it like I hot box it. I'll go in and out of the sauna. Like
Really?
yeah, like I feel so much healthier getting a lot of like drinking a lot of water and like flushing the system.
Yeah, that's
kinda.
fair.
But
I also I feel like we have as Canadians we're like a little bit cold blooded or warm, whatever. We like the cold.
yeah,
Like I'm like conditioned to like air conditioning and like the crisp, cool fall air
oh yeah.
because that's always what it's like in Calgary.
Do you sleep in cold room?
Yes, freezing cold.
I don't trust people that sleep in like 73 and 72.
I don't get it. Yeah,
I remember when we used to travel a lot with Nelk and it'd be like a big mansion instead of just like your own spot where you can control the temperature.
yeah.
And like there'd be so many people that would put it to like 73, 74. And I was like, bro, I'll 65, 66.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll go cold with
Yeah.
a bunch of blankets.
Yeah, that's the best.
You know how cozy, got my
Yeah.
dog there.
That's the best.
Dude.
I think the only thing that's bad is you get super conditioned to that. So then when you travel or go to a hotel room, like I'm
everything's
like,
hot.
I have like this perfect sleep setup where I have my bed is cold. I have a 15-pound weighted blanket and it's eye mask. So now I'm like conditioned. I'm like the bougiest like beauty sleeper. So now anytime I go anywhere, I'm grumpy because I didn't sleep. Because I'm like, I can't sleep without my weighted blanket on me. And
Yeah, I don't travel a lot. I have my like same
Leave your
thing.
shit and-
I have
yeah.
all my shit that I need like structure now. It's like
Yeah.
weird. I hate when I go to a hotel.
yeah, really?
Yeah, like when I travel, even I feel like I'll do that. I'll like hang out in the hotel and like watch 5 movies. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I doing?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like, go outside, go do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's weird. Structure is like so healthy for you, but I also feel like you can get stuck in structure.
yeah.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, totally.
You get kind of. You like need all your things that you do your thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure like even not being able to run like fucks with you a bit because it's also like,
100%.
that was part of your fucking day. every
Yes,
day.
I'm falling
You know what I mean?
back into all my bad habits.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's like it sucks because I want to get to the point where
You're back
know-
on coke or
what? Yeah, back on cocaine. Yeah. No, I want to get to the point where it's you make a lifestyle change, but then it becomes permanent no matter what happens.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's one of the things about structure is it's great, but it's kind of a crutch because it's like a not a cheat code, but it's just kind of
Yeah, you take a block out and it falls apart kind of.
exactly
Yeah.
where it's like you want to kind of build the structure so that it's adaptable.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go traveling and still like eat healthy and all that shit.
No, 100%.
But that takes years,
Yeah.
And it's like incremental steps towards that, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, you guys are going to be like The Rock, who just carries the gym everywhere he goes with him. When you guys travel, you're just going to have to.
That's
saw
the
Walter
ultimate. That's the ultimate.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate solution to all this is that we just have to get rich enough where we can bring our lifestyles with us no matter where we go. Like The Rock, for example.
Just
Your
travel
bed?
with one of those beds.
Bed, yes.
Just
Yeah,
flying with you.
Oh yeah.
Mark Wahlberg does that. I saw a video where he was shooting a movie in like London and he had the next room over was like shredded out and he had a full gym in there and like 3 coaches.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, it was crazy. Like I always thought of this. So imagine he's like spending the night there. He's just there for 2 days and they like shred the next room, build a gym, 3 coaches fly out. But he wakes up and he's like, oh, I'm not feeling it today. They're like, oh, okay. So we'll pack this up. Like how fucked would that be?
Not today, boys.
I mean, I
don't-
feel like you would always work out.
I
You'd be like, have
don't
to.
think Mark would ever say that.
No, I know.
He's working out no matter what.
It's so funny when those guys like they get up. They like say like 2 years ago, someone's like, I get up at 4 a.m. and I fucking grind. But then there's like another guy who wants to be like crazier. He's like, I get up at 3.
3, yeah.
But then it's like, at what point are you just not
Like-
sleeping? Like,
Yeah.
like, you're like, I get up at 9 p.m. and I fucking
Okay, but that's still the same day. So
Yeah, you're just
Are you
not-
actually grinding? I think you've grinded too hard where now you're lazy.
you just sleep 12 hours during the day. You reversed it, dude. You're now a piece of shit.
I often wonder, like, what is Mark's relationship with his wife like?
You often wonder.
I mean, that's the first thing I think about when I read that he gets up at fucking 2:30 a.m. It's like, okay, so you're like nocturnal and your wife obviously isn't. So when do you ever see her? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Hey, can I get a
Really.
spot?
What?
Can I get a spot next door?
Yeah. I talked to your assistant. She penciled me into your schedule.
Oh, I think that's a thing. Like it's scheduled.
yeah.
And if she's like, "What are you doing tonight?" You're like, you gotta talk to Tracy.
What are you doing tonight? I'm getting up. I'm waking up.
I'm up.
What are you doing later? Around midnight. Oh, that's when I wake up.
Working
I will
out.
be working out.
Squats.
Like,
All
when does he
5.
see his family? It's not a human schedule. When does he, like meetings happen during the day? And I feel like,
I don't know.
I don't understand it.
Get him on. We'll ask him.
Yeah, he's coming on next.
I talked to him for a second on a FaceTime once.
No way.
Yeah, with pretty bad. I have him tatted on my leg. Domi. Jesus. Domi.
Ty Domi.
His son's also in the league right now.
Yeah. Max.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I recognize that guy. Okay, so Ty was with Mark.
No, he just FaceTimed him when we were with him. Because we
gotcha.
I used to, whenever I go to New York, I'd meet up with him. He's like the nicest guy in the world.
Okay. How do you know him?
I don't even know how we met. I don't know. One of those just randomly met or something. And yeah, he's a cool guy. Plays
So
the
he
leagues.
FaceTimed Mark.
Yeah, and just fucking.
And what was that like?
It was quick. You could tell it was one of those like, okay.
It's 4 p.m. He's like, I'm just getting ready for bed.
He's got a little nightcap on.
I'm just going to bed and getting up. What's up?
He's in his jammies.
I was just about to wake up. What's good?
You ever been with someone who FaceTimes like someone kind of famous and you could tell the person who answers is like they're doing like a favor. It's like the weird.
Really?
That's what it felt like.
Oh, God.
Hey man, yeah. Hey, nice to meet you boys. Okay, and I'm just sitting there. He's holding. I'm like,
Oh, man.
I don't want to meet him this
yeah,
way.
Yeah.
I want to go work out at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that feels kind of gross. Should we talk about like shows or anything? Like any shows you're stoked about?
Yeah.
Like dad mods? You want to talk about that? I mean, I saw you kind of like talk about it on the show, so it's not a secret, right?
No. It's we just shot a teaser for it, so I'm just waiting. I think next week we get the final on the cut on that. We just did notes, and then we're gonna go pitch it around.
Nice.
But yeah, we got lots of shows in the works. I mean, I also kind of want to ask you about like how you guys are doing like Tiny Meat Gang, and you guys are building like a network there, and you guys are doing other podcasts, and then you do like shows on there. Is the one you did? I don't know if that was a one-off or a series you did, but it was like drunk cooking
Yeah.
with I forget his name. The guy.
Josh Wiseman.
Is he always in it, or was he just like a guest?
So we did 2 episodes, and then we did 2 additional episodes with him in it. So I think we've done 4 in total, right?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
a series larger. That's Cody and Noel Do. So they don't just do cooking. They did like horseback riding and tarot card reading.
Oh,
But that was, I mean, that
concept alone though was super dope
yeah,
and super funny.
that's definitely like a fan favorite for sure.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
It's one of my favorites too. I laugh my ass off when I watch that.
And you just wear drunk goggles?
Yes, just
Every time you look down the camera,
it's so
hilarious.
funny. It's like an instant laugh.
Yeah, I watched that with a few friends because I loved, even if I like something, I love to watch it with other people and see when they're, someone's checking their phone or some shit.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like, dude, that concept's great and so easy.
So we should do it more?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's do it more.
Hell yeah.
That's what we needed.
How do you feel about, unless you want to cut this off, but
No, I'm down to chat for however long.
you guys are putting everything. So you got podcast shows, all this. Just because I was working with FaZe on this, and I kind of had this idea of that it should be separated, like shows on different channels, but under the same network name, and then all kind of tied together under a playlist.
Yeah.
Like just for the benefits of when people subscribe to a channel because they watch that video, they're getting what they want, and you're not like. It's kind of like if you shot a channel, right? Like say Cody Trains, and you did that content, and then all of a sudden you switched it. It's still you, but you switched it, and now you're doing like surf videos.
Yeah.
And it's already hard to get that audience to fuck with surf videos, even though it's still you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like
Like you're saying that would like tank the engagement.
it would hurt it
Yeah.
with it still being you. But now you remove you, and now it's and the concept, and now it's a whole nother thing, and now it's on that same channel. Like is it Bert Kreischer and
Your mom's house.
Your mom's house, which
Yeah.
I mean they're killing it, but what they're even doing too, I was like, I just look at that and I'm like, I feel like these could do better if they were all kind of their own channels,
Yeah. I mean, so
and they
We've
could build their
definitely-
own followings,
we've definitely like experimented with that. Building up a channel from scratch is really, really fucking hard. And I feel like there is a place you can get to, like,
That's the big negative is now you have 0 subscribers when you upload that video.
and it's
Yeah.
and it's fucking hard. Like even
Yeah.
like I was about to say, like Full Send, for example, they can start a new channel, I feel like, and like they have enough of a critical mass where it would be easy to build up like a 500,000 subscriber base or whatever.
Yeah.
But for us, it's fucking hard. Like look at Cody Trains, like I got really lucky with that first video getting recommended by the algorithm and stuff. And so that immediately probably got me like 75,000 subs. But even since then, I've only grown to like 130,000. And it's really hard to get anything over like 500 to 1,000 subs a day, and that's really fucking good for YouTube for us.
Go subscribe to this. It's fucking great. I don't know why it does.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
I don't think this is bad though. Like I think that's like I look at this as a proof of concept that if this, because I'm taking this as this is something you like just want to do anyways. Like that's what this channel is to you. It's like I'm gonna do this anyways. You're not editing
100%.
it. It's not a lot of your time.
Yeah.
And you shoot it on your phone.
Yeah.
I was wondering that. I was like, oh, does it suck to go for a run? You got to bring a camera or something. But
it's great.
You're just
yeah. This thing, the cameras on these are incredible.
Yeah, I was surprised when I was like watching like one of the episodes. Like, oh, it is a phone.
Yeah.
But
so I will say like, and that this is after me having 7 years of YouTube success. I mean, that felt like a flex, but 7 years of YouTube, like
7
experience,
years, 7 million.
but like a lot of fucking, like this is over 1 billion. I have over 1 billion views on my channel. And yet when I start a new channel, I can still only get like 130,000 subscribers after putting out a weekly video for 3 months now or something like that. Right. So for someone like Trillionaire Mindset, one of our shows, who are fucking hilarious. Both those guys are incredible and their show is fantastic and we put so much effort behind their show. Mm-hmm. We started them a channel because we were kind of had that same sort of thought is let's organize things.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I feel like it's maybe hurting the engagement that people get, TMG videos and also other episodes. So let's like start splitting things off and growing their fan bases. But it's really fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Like it's, they've been on their own channel now for like over.
When did they get their own channel, Zach?
8 months ago.
8 months ago, and we're like fighting to crack 50,000 subs on their
Almost
channel.
at 50.
And like their audience is fucking dedicated. They have like people that pay monthly to see them do a bonus episode. Like they really, really like what they do. So like the show is good.
But I feel like then that's working.
Yeah, it's working.
Like a core audience that's just subscribed. If you take away like having to hit a certain amount of numbers for that to be like super successful, it's like that's at least now it's in a spot where it can grow. Like if you looked at like when you first started doing YouTube as like how hard that is to grow, like for the first one you do, if you just keep that mindset with all those new shows, because we still have this head start that you do have this massive marketing asset with all your other shows that can push it and talk about it. Slowly people trickle over, but there's just something about when someone like hits subscribe to that, they become a fan of this new show.
Yeah.
And they weren't forced to in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not bashing anything. I'm just, this is just like everyone I mean, I'm kind of talking to about just to hear the ups and downs. Cause it's also crazy because I said this about your mom's house. But then I went and looked at the videos and like, dude, a lot of them like do really fucking well.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I don't think there's a right answer. I think it depends. It totally depends on how familiar, because especially when you're dealing with like other talent, like you're introducing talent to the people that are already just used to, for example, me and Noel doing our thing, and we're like, oh, here's 2 additional people that you guys should like.
Yeah.
That's really hard to do, and it kind of requires us to continually sort of like, no, here, look. And then now finally, like both, Brooke and Connor and Trillionaire Mindset have like really dedicated fan bases that just fuck with them and don't watch our show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that took like a lot of introducing them to people, but also just like promoting them outside our network too.
Do you put them through the funnel of all your guys' shows that hit really hard so that the audience sees them and sees how funny they are? And okay.
We're pretty strategic with how we introduce a show. Like we have them on as guests. It's not like we don't just like drop them. We don't just drop a new show on people.
Yeah.
We have done that. I mean, it hasn't
and we're learning too.
And we're learning, yeah.
It's like you said, it's like when you have this channel and you strip away the talent and you strip away the concept.
Yeah.
And you introduce this new thing and then you expect people to fuck with it. And it's like we're constantly doing that with new shows. And then you drop it on a new channel, Trillionaire Mindset, where it's like, go live on your own and you just have to trudge through like building it up. It's like you have to weigh those pros and cons of like what's better, keeping it on your channel and just hoping that it just continues to do well and gets this new audience. Or put it on its own and just know that for the first like handful of months at least, you're going to be just trying to build this audience, which is what we're doing with Trillionaire.
Yeah.
It's pros and cons.
Yeah, I guess the way to look at it too, I mean, a lot of these new networks that are dropping normally stem from a like personal figure that did it. You know what I mean? And I think that you can also just argue that I'm putting these all on one channel as a network, and you should fuck with it because like I fuck with it if I'm creating it.
Yeah.
And it's like you're just like the production company or you're A24 and these are the movies I make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think
Yeah.
there's an argument for both. But
I think we've also like kind of, tried to switch the branding and the framing on Noel and I's channel as like, this is a company now, and if you're down with this, then it means you're like down with the success of the company too.
Yeah.
And I think people are really like buying into that, which I'm glad because like we put a lot of fucking effort into this and we're really passionate about it. And everyone that we sign, it's like, no, this is family. It's like they get us and we get them and they mix right in, So,
you guys aren't just signing anyone that could get views. It's like
exactly
you're
like at least
picking
for the
who-
time being, like we're a boutique agency, right? And we want to, we want to be one of those companies where it's like, oh, like all the talent are cool in their own way, and it's not like they're just kind of, I don't know, mishmash or like signing anyone or It's like no, these are people that it's clear that they've been vetted and they match with the brand of why I like mess with these guys in the first place.
I think it took a little while for the audience to understand that too, because whenever we launched Trillionaire, they're similar to Cody and Noel. People were like, "Oh yeah, we get it." And then we launched Brooke and Connor, and if you go back and look at the comments, the first couple months of videos, people are like, "Fuck this, we don't. Who are these influencers? We don't."
Really?
But then once they started to get to know them, they started to see the videos, and some people still don't like their stuff, but now they're one of our most successful shows.
Their show's killing it.
And they are family. Like people, like they're part of TMG Studios.
Yeah.
They are part of our brand. They're part of our universe. People understand that like Brooke and Connor is part of the TMG universe. And it's just now it's like, oh yeah, like that's a TMG show. It just took a little while for people to, and now we launched Foul Tip and they're kind of in line with our brand. They are in line with our brand.
I saw that, yeah.
So it's like we're building this universe of this family out, like Cody was saying. Then I think our audience now is like, oh yeah, we're a company. It's not just Tiny Meat Gang.
I feel like in the beginning too is also doubly hard being a comedy creator to be like, oh, now we're a business, and people being like, come on.
Oh yeah.
Nah, come on. You guys have been making fun of this for, like do anything serious after you've been like, making fun of shit for 5 years.
Oh yeah.
People automatically are like, okay, what are you trying to do here?
Oh bro, I'm walking right into a wall on it.
Yeah.
I opened a creative agency.
Yeah.
I used to pack chews and yell send it and get drunk in a fucking Sprinter van. You know
Although
what
I feel like people have always kind of seen your style and I feel like they've always known that about you, that like this is something, I don't know. It felt like a natural path when I saw you do this. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it did. I was surprised, to be honest, that like, you know what it is? I think we spend so many hours and hours and hours of our personality is online that people do know you more than you think.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Whether I was kind of playing a bit of a character for that whole like 7 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People still know like kind of who you are, what your interests are, all that. But yeah, it's crazy. Like how many minutes do you think of you is on the internet?
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. That's kind of one of the downsides too with trying to do a lot of shit is now I have 2 channels. I have this going. I have TMG. And so I kind of realized like everything I do, like I've talked about this back injury 50 different times now. It's like people are probably getting sick of hearing about it. So it's like everything I do is I end up talking about or it ends up, I end up showing it somehow in Kelsey's videos or anything. That kind of sucks because it's like something's definitely should be private. But
yeah,
I mean, I think it's also like one of the things that it's like one of the things you got to deal with if you want to do this.
Yeah, it's just part of the job in a way. Yeah.
What's the goal? I mean, like where do you want to be in 5 years with Sunday? And
I think just a big enough core audience, nothing crazy, but just like enough people that fuck with what I'm doing to be able to just keep doing what I'm doing. And if that's creating shows, it could be fucking write a book, it could be this, it could be releasing a drop every month, like and not having to steer anything into a way to be more profitable and do you know what I mean? I'm just done with that. So I just want to just be able to keep building what I'm doing. Yeah. And it makes enough to keep doing it. Like that's literally the goal. I'm not trying to go fucking chase the moon or be a gazillionaire or that shit. I mean, to be honest, I think if I keep this mindset too, I think that is kind of how you create great shit anyways.
Yeah.
How greatness happens.
Yeah.
If I just
Yep.
focus on that, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Sometimes when you like chase that, it's easy to fucking fall off the ladder a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm also even just trying to just be happy. Like I'm pretty addicted to just work, like kind of what you're saying, like no matter what you're doing, working on something and slowly it's building like every day. Like my happiness comes from that so
Yeah.
much. And
Yeah.
I'm learning that. So I just want to start learning how to be happy outside of that. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a big personal life or like a lot of friends or like everything is connected to a goal.
Mhm.
Even like if I do MMA or I do this, it's like, oh, because I'm trying to get healthy and do this. And like, I don't know. I want to kind of also build a life as sad as that fucking sounds, but like something that like as much as I put this much work into all these projects, like I should be putting work into building a life. Does that make sense? Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, it also sounds like, it sounds like settling down and like starting a family would probably.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like that's what's calling you.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. How old are you now?
29.
Yeah.
It was just your birthday, right?
Yeah.
When was it?
Last Tuesday,
Last Tuesday?
November 22nd.
Fuck yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, dude.
I can say that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a week later.
Happy next birthday or happy belated? Those are the two things you can say.
Happy. Wait, what is happy next birthday? Like,
Next year's birthday.
Like 2023.
oh no, I'm happy belated.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm-
man. Appreciate it.
I'll text you like more around the time probably.
Okay.
We're not going to see each other for 5 years.
No, we need to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, let's hang. I'm down to come down to Huntington. I fucking love it down there.
Looks like fun waves there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know a
You
lot about surfing. I've only done it a handful of times, but it seems someone was explaining to me that it's more like in skateboarding, like a bank ramp than like a quarter pipe.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean by
Yeah.
that? Like, is that kind of a thing? Like Huntington looked more like a gradual wave till like the lip breaks. I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but
Depends on what you're
I feel
comparing
like-
it to.
I feel like I disagree with that.
is
Maybe because I only surfed Huntington like in the winter, but it gets pretty gnarly.
really
Yeah, like barreling.
yeah, but it's
Like
better than
sketchy.
like Bay Street, Santa Monica.
Yeah, but he's saying like the wave is more slabby, but I don't think it is.
Is that the word? Yeah. Like, I mean, I was just looking at waves because obviously I run at Hermosa area all the time, and it just looks more like when you get to vert or something,
yeah.
and like it's fucking hard though.
Yeah.
That's how you fucked your back, right?
Yeah.
Surfing, fuck.
Yeah. I think
Just
and
from
then-
getting like turned in the water.
Yeah, but like it wasn't like I had that a moment where I was like, oh fuck, something happened.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I hit my back, whatever, get back up, kept going, and then the next day I golfed. That's why I kind of think it might be like a disc issue, because I think it was just like the combination of those two things.
Yeah.
Something slipped, and then the next day it was like I couldn't get out of bed. So I don't know.
Never had a back issue out of all the injury shit. I don't even know what it feels like, but I know it's fucking
Sucks.
brutal.
Yeah.
Everything's connected to it. So
Yeah.
It's fucking, it's annoying. Is sleep kind of brutal?
It was in the beginning. Like I couldn't really turn over.
Oh, okay.
But now it's fine. So that makes me realize it actually is getting better. It's just getting better really slowly, so it doesn't seem like it's getting better. But now I can sleep no problem. Like I can roll over. Everything's fine. So I'm going to try and maybe start working out again like later in the week.
Yeah. Get back at it.
Okay. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to cover? Anything you want to plug?
No, should be good.
All right, fuck yeah. This was great.
Yeah,
This is
man, it's
exactly
fun.
what I wanted. I wanted like to come in here and just like chat with you as a friend about your journey, and I feel like we definitely did that.
Yeah, 100%. Just like catching up.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm happy for you.
Very chill.
Yeah. It's insanely chill.
It's insanely chill.
Even though we got this InfoWars ass set.
It is very InfoWarsy.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. I'll see you in 5 years.
Yeah, we'll be 36. I'll probably have kids. Our kids will play.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to be doing the podcast in 5 years?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Probably.
Just change the name to like, it's kind of chill. It's
Yeah,
kinda,
yeah.
It's kind of chaotic.
Old and chill. Old but chill.
Things got a little crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it'll be. Insanely chaotic. Yeah.
Next time you're on, we'll have you do the spaghetti from Jollibee. What
Oh
is it
yeah.
called?
Well, no,
Jollibee?
he's
Yeah, you
gonna go
nailed
on.
it, dude. Jollibee.
Jollibee.
He's gonna go on my new
Jollibee.
Jollibee mukbang channel.
I'll definitely be a guest on there. I'm gonna do that alone tonight. So
Let's make a
with
channel.
no camera or anything.
Let's make a channel and just go shoot that video and then never touch it. And put episode 1 of 96 or something.
yeah. I'm fucking down if you want to do that. That would be really funny.
I'm down.
All right, dude. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Fuck yeah.
Later, everyone.